So we're going to talk about as a service. Okay, and why is that important? Well, because it all started in 2019, so technically it's 2 years ago from now. It was at HPE Discover in Las Vegas. I was there, big summit, big event, more than 10,000 people, and HPE CEO Antonio Neri was there on stage, and he said, well, HPE will become an SA service company by 2022. Well, at that moment in time, we said, yeah, 3 more years. Well, we'll see. Now, of course, today is 2021. We're almost there for 2022. And I must admit that with GreenLake, for instance, HPE is making big steps to become indeed that SA service company. Now, of course, there were two things, SA service and then HPE Greenlake. Okay, I said, okay, I am interested. So let's look further about Greenlake, because that was the first thing. Why Greenlake? So I was looking, there you go. This is a green lake. I looked further. This is also a green lake. And by the way, this is also a green lake. So that didn't help me that much at the end. So I said, there must be something else. So it must be something with SA service. And then I found these numbers. So by the way, these are numbers by IDC and Gartner and other external companies. So this is not about HPE. And as you can see there is that the enterprise product spending, so the local on-premises infrastructure, at the end it's not going away, it's there to stay. Of course, everyone will be buying servers and storage and networking, but the one that is growing is the infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, everything XaaS, everything as a service, call it however you want, but everything as a service. And I said, okay, this is where we can make money, new money, other money, people that are moving, because I am an infrastructure guy. I'm a technical guy, and most of you know me. So I'm the server and the storage guy. I have a Nimble in my garage, and so on. And all those cloud people, they said already many years ago, there were those software guys that said, hey, Bart, in a few years, you don't have a job anymore. Find you another job because everything will be going to the cloud. Well, today I can say that even thanks to the cloud, I still have a lot of work to do. Yeah, so that on-premises thing is not going away. By the way, when we're talking about the cloud, which cloud are you talking about? There are too many clouds today. Okay, and that's the whole thing. And when we take a look at those numbers, okay, we can make money out of it. But if we see that journey to the public cloud, or one of those clouds, let's say, right? We see other numbers as well. We see companies, by the way, if you these back again, these are official numbers. Plenty of companies are accelerating the innovation. They're going to that XaaS, everything as a service. However, we see as well that plenty of companies who migrated their applications to the public cloud environment, that they are now coming back from that public cloud. They're not going away from the cloud, but they're creating that own cloud on premises. And then they call it, depending on the company that you're talking with, they call it a private cloud or a hybrid cloud or a managed cloud or an intelligent cloud or a whatever cloud. But if we take a look at Azure, with Azure Stack HCI, and we see Google Anthos, and we see Amazon as well, who are creating all software to create an on-premises cloud. Okay, why? We will see in a minute why that public cloud is very good, but at the conclusion, you will see the cloud is an experience. It's how you consume your IT, how you manage, how you install, how you deploy, how you maintain your applications and your data. Okay, and so there are some numbers as well that where we can see already 25% reduction of workloads on the public cloud. Does that mean that those applications are coming back to an on-premises traditional infrastructure? No, not at all. They stay in the cloud, but they're going to another cloud. There are multiple clouds, okay? Because at the end, yes, of course, we want here that 55% TCO better. Hold on, there you go. So you can read everything there. Don't worry, you will get a copy of the presentation afterwards this week. But so we want the benefits of a cloud, pay as a service, scalability, flexibility, scale up, scale out, scale up, scale down, whatever. Definitely pay as a service, but we want also other guarantees like performance, stability, security, and so on and so on. And this is why now there is GreenLake, and so GreenLake, the cloud that comes to you. Well, before that, at one moment in time on a slide, and I like that personally, but that's HPE marketing. And what I say is, instead of bringing your data to the cloud, bring the cloud to your data, because this is what GreenLake is doing finally. We're going to give you that cloud experience, but we're going to put that cloud experience where is the data. Don't move your data to that public cloud, because by the way, all the things that we were hearing about vendor lock-in, why buy HPE? Because there are other brands on the market. Well, now with the cloud as well, I challenge you, the ones that you decide to go to Amazon, not going to say anything bad about Amazon, but once that your data is in Amazon Web Services, it's really hard to move that data the year after to Azure or to Google or to Alibaba or to whatever, my cloud, whatever cloud. Also take data as a cloud. There are so many clouds today. Okay, so it's oh so hard before once that data is in. It's really easy to put your data in the cloud, but afterwards it's really hard to get that data out of the cloud. By the way, we're going to talk about egress costs. Yeah, to get data out of the cloud, it costs money. I'm not sure if you are aware of that, but getting data out of the cloud, it costs money, and it's the cloud is not public clouds are not cheap. Yeah. Today, I think a lot of companies are aware that you don't go to the public cloud to have a cheaper solution. Not at all. Yeah, think again, call me, send me an email. I'll show you how you can calculate to put a few terabytes of data with a few VMs in a public cloud. There are cloud sizers, pricing tools for that. I will see what is the price. I don't say it's cheap, I don't say it's expensive, but it has a certain price, and we can deliver you on-premises solutions for the same price with the same flexibility. And for instance, we're going to do that with GreenLake, right? Because that's the whole idea. If we take a look on this slide, I'm not going to do it, but I can talk for hours on this slide, because the edge, we have the data center. Everyone has a server room with gear in there. Now with IoT, the Internet of Things, that's the devices that are generating data. Well, marketing calls them also the edge. Everything is happening in the edge. Also there, HPE started with the edge 4 years ago already. Now today, all IT companies out there are using the edge. Okay, so that's the place where the data is generated. Then through 4G, 5G, 6G, Wi-Fi, 5, 6, whatever, we get that data in our data center. We're going to do something with it, and then we're going to move it to one or multiple clouds today, and we're going to do something more. And what we want, of course, at the end is, yes, we're going to give you that self-service experience. I'm going to show you, by the way, in this presentation, it's called HPE Greenlake Central. It's one portal where you go and you can see all your data with all your applications. Hold on, all your services, because there's something that I need to explain for sure is what is a service, because before we can talk about self-service, you need to know what is a service. And this is something that you need to be aware of. And this is something that your customers need to be aware of. So this is why I organized this webinar, by the way. It's all about awareness to explain you and your end customers about what is a service. And because then we can move further with self-service portals and so on and so on. Also, when we're going to talk about pay-per-use, now with the traditional environment, hey, you call me, hey, Tech Data, I need 2 servers, I need network switches, I need cables, I need licenses. We create that bill of material, right, for you. And then you order it and you're going to install it and everyone is happy at the end. Now, with the service, it doesn't work like that. And if you want to do pay-per-use, no, because I was thinking, hey, that would be cool in 2022, a DL380 as a service. Well, it's not that easy as that, because a DL380, there are plenty of components in there. And how you gonna pay per use? There are 4 DIMMs in there. How can I pay for, let's say, 75% of that DIMM, because I'm only using 75% of that DIMM? So it's not that easy of a DIMM as a service and a CPU and a network card and a hard disk and a RAID controller as a service. No, it's a service pay per use. Of course, we can scale up, we can scale down. Don't worry, you'll see today already with Nimble, with Simplicity Solutions, we can scale up, we can scale down. So technically there's no problem, and it's managed for you, because that's a fourth thing that we like. Instead of, and now I have a lot of analogies that we can use to compare here, to explain what is a service. Well, let's think now. When I see the names in the list, there are some people with a lot of experience, just like me. And a long time ago, we had a cassette recorder. So we had a music tape recorder. Okay, and every Saturday at noon, there was a top 40 or top 30 on the radio. And then I was waiting there to record my music, because of course, if I wanted music, I could go to the store and buy those discs of 30, what was it again? 33 and 45 discs. But then, okay, that was a disc with a lot of music, but I just wanted 2 or 3 songs. I could buy those little discs as well, but they were rather expensive. So on the radio, I was waiting to record my own music, and I had a lot of cassettes in there. And so I could choose my music. And then, of course, we had the LPs, and then we had CDs, and we had DVDs, and we had plenty of media. But today, no one is downloading music anymore, because everyone is streaming, right? But I'm not going to make publicity for Spotify and all those other online streaming, music streaming services. But now you pay one price per month, and it's Spotify and all those other companies. Apple Music, Google has them as well. Everyone has those online streaming services today. But now all the media is there. They are doing all the storage, all the a nice interface to play the music on all the devices where you want to listen to music, right? In your house and outside. With music, we have the same experience with video. Okay, where's the time of a video recorder where we could register stuff and so on? My kids, they say, what are you talking about? Yeah, I just put on streams or YouTube or Netflix or whatever Disney Plus channel that is out there, and I watch when I want, and I don't have to record it and wait and then do funny stuff with it and lose my time. No, it's just a service. I pay for a service. If we move towards IT, because there are plenty of examples as well in IT, of course, is Office 365. Yeah, where was the time that I received a big pallet of hardware and software and plenty of time that I needed to install an Exchange implementation for my customer to run 100 mailboxes? Okay, it took me 3 weeks, or at least my boss at that time, he told me, Bart, you have 3 weeks. There are all the boxes. In 3 weeks, I need an Exchange server with 100 mailboxes. Yeah. Okay, I did it. So technically it's perfectly possible. But today, those 3 weeks, it's way too long. Yeah. Now you go to Office 365. I say, I need 100 mailboxes. Give me your credit card. You pay per mailbox. Of course, in the backend, there's plenty of servers and storage and SSDs and Microsoft licensing and networks and patch management and gear expertise. Yeah, experts, engineers who are maintaining, installing all this for you, but you don't see it. Yeah, they do it in the back end. You pay for a service, and that's the whole thing. If we're going to take a look at GreenLake, yeah, you're going to see services. I'm going to give a demo in a minute, by the way, but all that you will see are services. Okay, and this is important for the pay-per-use as well, because we're going to talk about pricing. And when we're going to talk about pricing, you will see other price, you will see euros or dollars, yes, but it will be something else, or you have to understand that it's something else than just calling Tech Data, hey, this is my bill of material, this is what I need, and then there's an engineer who is going to put everything on there. Okay, think about the Spotify's, think about the Azures, think about the Office 365s, everything is included in there. And that's the whole idea. We're going to create that cloud experience everywhere with GreenLake. So GreenLake has cloud experience in the public cloud. We have connectors with public clouds. But let it be clear, the first thing that you need to remember is it's a public cloud experience, but it's on premises. First thing to remember, GreenLake, the gear, the servers, the storage, everything is in your server room or in the server room of your customer. So GreenLake is not something running in Azure. You know, we have a connector to move data over there, but GreenLake is on-premises gear. You pay like a public cloud, so you pay per month. How much does it cost? I'll show you. I'll give you a practical example in a minute, but this is what you need to understand. You pay for a service. I'll show you the services in a minute, right? Pay-per-use, self-service portal with the scalability up and down. That is, in short, GreenLake. Okay, by the way, I can prove it to you. Okay, so I'm gonna switch quickly to my web browser. Okay, first of all, quickly I'll go into Google and I go look for HPE Greenlake, and then of course, oh, that's easy, hpe.com/Greenlake. Okay, and so let's see what is there. What is Greenlake? Practically. Okay, there's a nice video. No, I'm not going to spend time here now for the video. So this is after this session, guys, you have seen it's really easy. Google hp.com/Greenlake. There are plenty of videos in there. Innovate faster. Why Kern County chose Greenlake. Blah, 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 blah. Scalability, simplified IT. It's managed for you. HPE is doing all the dirty job for you. You'll see the installation, the configuration, maintenance, support, everything is included. Yeah, you just see the service, you consume the service. Well, there's another video. No, we're not going to take a look at the video. Explore the cloud services. There's the GreenLake. Watch now, there's a webinar about GreenLake. Some more stuff, lower IT costs, proper control, sustainability. There are some CapEx numbers, some OpEx numbers, faster time to market. So you don't have to wait 3 weeks anymore for that service to be available. Everything goes much faster. There are plenty of statistics available. And there you go. And there's more information about the HPE. So one thing that I want to show here is that besides the videos, you have plenty of time afterwards to look at those videos. But what I like here is explore the GreenLake cloud services. So when you click on there, you will see now the services. What is GreenLake? What can I buy? Okay, well, there you go. Here are the services. And now, depending of the country, because now I am on hpe.com, so this is worldwide GreenLake services. So you will see that there are more services available. No, I don't want to chat with HPE at this moment, but there are plenty of services. So okay, let's take a look. Containers, a company that wants to start with DevOps, development of new types of style of applications. Well, we go into the container stuff. What you can do is you can call Tech Data. Hey, I need servers and storage and networking and Docker and Kubernetes and plenty of experience to do it all yourself. Or you can go to GreenLake and there is a ready to use container platform. Yeah, You can put your 10, 100,000 containers on there, and you will see the price. It's per compute unit and per capacity, per terabyte or per gigabyte of data. But the platform is ready to use. It's or remember, video, cassette recorder, do it yourself, or it's Spotify. Yeah, just give me the music. I want to look for music. Bang, there you go. I want to use it. Mailboxes, exactly the same. Well, here it is, a ready to use platform. Just put your containers on there, pay per use. You want more? No problem. It's ready. Important to know, it's a platform running on premises. So it's not somewhere in the public cloud where you have all that latency and uptime and downtime. No, no, no. It's running in your data center close to the data. Yeah, so you will get perfect full control, full performance, and you're sure about the security because it's in your data center, so you control the security as well. Well, there you go. We have plenty of other services. Machine learning, virtual machines. So I want 10 VMs, 100 VMs, 1,000 VMs. Maybe today, very popular these days, working at home. VDI. Well, there you go. A ready-to-use VDI solution. And if it's with Citrix or other software like Horizon View, no problem. We have those solutions in there. I'm going to give you a practical examples in a minute. You want databases? No problem. You want big data, data protection, storage. We're going to use storage as an example, virtual machines as an example. You want SAP HANA, you want networking as a service, you want compute as a service. So you see plenty high performance computing, HPC, for multiple industries. We have plenty of services. Now, this is worldwide, of course. Today, when we're going to take a look at HPE Greenlake in Belgium, you will see that not all those services today are available yet in Belgium. Okay, you will see that there are 3 available today. Now, don't worry, it's the 3 most popular ones that are available today. Okay, the others are coming really soon. Okay, it's just a matter of time before it will be enabled. But there you go. What do we see here? No gear. Yeah, no hardware, no software. We see services. So that's the first thing. When you're going to talk with your customer about GreenLake, at that moment, your customer and you need to understand what is a service. Because if you don't understand what is a service, you cannot explain what is as a service. Okay, so this is really an important one. Now I can give you a practical example if we go into, let's say, virtual machines, because of course I'm going to give you the full story, the full information that you need to know to get started. Of course, we're going to help you with that. Okay, so virtual machines, there's a brief, pay-per-use, easy to configure, easy to consume. This is all the cloud stuff, the cloud experience, of course. And now you see there are some offerings. Okay. We have general purpose VMs, we have hyper-converged VMs, and we have enterprise-ready VMs. Okay, and you can have them in less than 4 days. This is intriguing because HPE says here, yeah, in 14 days, you can have everything, the complete solution up and running at your site. Okay, now what's the difference between those VMs? Well, as you can see, a general purpose VM, it will be running on ProLiant servers with some storage behind it. Hyperconverged VMs is, yeah, SimpliVity or Nutanix. I'm going to show you more details later on. And enterprise-ready VMs, HPE Synergy, okay, with Primera behind it. So we need to talk technical anyway, but you're not going to pay for Synergy, you're not going to pay for Primera, you're going to pay for enterprise-ready VMs, okay? How we're going to size it? I'll show you because there's a quoting tool, there's a sizer tool. This is where we will help you, the HPE partners, okay? And then you can dive in because this is just general information. Yeah, so you can do this. This is publicly available. So get pricing. There you go. There are some, for those the techies among us, there you go. There's a SimpliVity performance optimized model. There is a balanced model. There is a cost optimized model. And then also with Nutanix, there's a balanced and a performance optimized model. And there you see those differences. Now, First of all, let it be clear, hey, I want a little bit more memory. I want a little bit more this. I want more CPU and so on. Can I change this? No, no. You pay per VM, you not pay per simplicity node, remember? Also, when you go to Office 365, you're not going to say, hey, but my mailbox needs to be on a HPE server with SSDs connected with 25 gigabit backend. Nope, that's not possible. With Spotify, you don't care what is the backend where that music is stored, right? You pay for the music, you pay for the mailbox. Here, you pay for the VM. So no, you cannot change this because this is the only location, by the way, where you can see the hardware relay with the bill of material. This is all predefined. No discussion of what HPE is installing in your server room. They're taking these nodes because they need to guarantee that flexibility, of course. And now the nice thing is when you click on pricing, because this is what I need to explain you, of course, at the end today is to get your price, you just have to answer a few questions. Do you require a choice of hypervisor? No or yes. Now, why is that? I know this. It's not important for you, but I'm a techie. I'm interested in this. If I select no, I can go for, this will result in a simplicity solution because simplicity is VMware only. If I select yes, at that moment, I know that this will become a Nutanix solution because with Nutanix, you have a choice between hypervisor because they have their own hypervisor Acropolis. Yeah. So whatever, just to give you this awareness. The number of VMs, let's say I want 10 VMs. The minimum RAM is 32. The maximum is 6 tera. Average vCPU, minimum 16. And the average storage is 5,000. It's like that because remember I selected that hyper-converged workload. I still can change the workload if you want. And now view plans. And now because I selected no, well, I know there is only one plan because it's rather small. So by the way, it is cost optimized. If I would have set 200 VMs, then I would have had multiple solutions in here. So what's in there? It's a cost optimized simplicity solution. There's plenty of gear in there. No, you cannot change it. It's like that. Yeah, it's only 192 gig of RAM. Do you care? No, you will have multiple nodes, but the price, everything is included in the price anyway. Remember, you pay per VM. Now there are final questions, and this is what I'm going to explain now is that there's something about years. You're going to have a contract, 3, 4, 5 years. Okay, so you're not going to take the cloud for 1 month. Okay, so HPE Greenlake is not going to install all those servers and storage and solutions in your server room for 1 month. If it's for a development thing, go to the public cloud. If it's for a short-term thing, go to the public cloud anyway. So here it's minimum 3 today, maximum 5 years. Of course, it's possible to extend, but maximum today is 5 years. And this is an important thing as well that I'm going to explain in a minute is about that variable usage, because this one is an important as well that will define the price of your solution. Now, the default is 20%. I'm going to explain in a minute. I'm going to do whiteboarding. I'm going to explain what is that 20%. And now, finally, to explain about services, because this is a question that I get all the time. Hey, Bart, in Greenlake, are there licenses in there? Because with simplicity, for instance, you need the only thing, it's all inclusive licensing except the VMware licenses. So there you go. You can add VMware vSphere and vCenter, but it goes much further. DMR, defective media retention, is a service from HPE that you can get. DMR, probably you know what it is. A hard disk is broken, they send you a new one, but then normally this disk needs to be sent back to HPE. It's exchanged, right? Well, some companies say, hey, but there is data from us on there, and for compliance reasons, I'm not allowed to share that data with you, even that the disk is broken. So, or you're going to use the screwdriver and hammer solution, bang, and destroy that disk, or you just can say it's a service, it costs just a little bit more money, but with DMR, you can keep the media. They just sent you the new media, but you can keep the old media and destroy it yourself. There are plenty of management services, and when you click on there, you can do it for yourself because this is a public website. Anyway, enhanced management services, even HPE can deliver the co-location for you. We can add NSX in there, on-site project management. Look at that. These are all services, right, that can be added, then that will influence your price. And then you click on add workload, you can add multiple workloads in there, and then at the end you click on get price. There are more questions about, not technical, it's about business. What's your time to market? What's the monetized business impact of the workloads? We need to talk business. Okay, when we're talking about services, you want to talk business. So in our discussions, and when we have salespeople in our call as well, you need to talk technical, but also business and everything in between, okay, to explain what is a service. Why does Office 365 cost that much for a small and a medium and a large mailbox? What's behind that service? Why does Spotify cost, how much is it? 12 euros, 13 euros per month, something like that. Yeah, maybe one day there will be a Spotify Gold and Silver and Platinum. I don't know, but we'll see with their services. How often do you buy? Quarterly, monthly, semi-annual, annual? I'll show you in a minute. Why is this an important question as well? And then finally, what you need to do, you just click your information in here. We are in Belgium, and I'll put in my phone number and then send price. Now, by the way, just like with the cloud, we get the default numbers already. Yeah, capex, opex, spending, blah, 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 everything is better. But now I can tell you that in 1 or 2 minutes, I will get a mail. And so I'm going to share it with you. But I'm going to get a mail from HPE Greenlake with pricing in there. So it doesn't have to take days or weeks or whatever, because by the way, I'm opening up the link now, but I got an email meanwhile already. So get your pricing estimate here, copy the hyperlink. And so I'm gonna open it up for you. And there you go. And so you will see now directly in matter of minutes, the price of this quote, okay? There you go. So, and this is now the next step of what I need to explain to you. Because what is the price? Well, it will cost you, I selected dollars for some kind of reason. This is in my profile. So the reserved resources monthly price, the fixed price is something, 4,900. And then I have that per compute unit price as well. And now I can click view sizing, I can download the estimate, I get a PowerPoint, I get a Word file, I get a PDF with all the details in there. Now, is this a lot of money? I don't know, maybe yes, maybe no, but before you're gonna pull your conclusions, hold on. There's something more that I need to explain when we're gonna talk about that pricing as well. How is the pricing of a cloud service? How does it work? And for that, what I need to do is I need to do some whiteboarding. So I'm going to switch now to whiteboarding. And there are some things that I need to explain to you. First of all, today, when we're going to take a traditional environment, a customer tells you, hey, I need, let's say 10 VMs or 20 VMs or 100 VMs, whatever, but I need something. I need 5 terabyte with so many CPU and memory. So let's say that's it. This is what I need. Actually, by the way, this is what I need today. But of course, I'm going to buy this for 5 years. So I need to take into account the growth of my IT environment. So I'm going to make a sizing now. And so I'm going to make a price for you now with the traditional environment for this. And so there you go. This is what I have. And so now, okay, we're going to put some workload and it will go up and down and it will grow because I assume that your customers, they need more after time. I never had customers that called me to say, hey, Bart, remember I bought 4 servers? Yeah, I don't need that 4th one anymore. Come take it back. Yeah. Or I have too many storage. Yeah, pull out some disks from my Primera or Nimble or MSA. No, it doesn't work. They always need more. And so at one moment in time, that workload goes up. It's at this moment here, only there, they're going to call you. Hey, I have a problem. Performance problem, because I bought this solution from you, and maybe after 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 years, maybe we did a good solution, a good sizing, but at one moment in time, I need more than that I can run on my environment. And then they call you, and then you call Tech Data, and they say, hey, I need more memory, I need more CPU, I need a new server, I need more disks in my MSA, I need more whatever. Okay, now, of course, it takes some time. Then you're going to order. Okay, I'm going to order. How much am I going to order? I don't know, that. Okay, because back again now, this costs money, of course. And so I expand my environment, and then I have more resources. But you know, of course, after some moment in time, after 4 or 5 years, back again, they're going to call you, we have an issue. And the steeper it goes, the faster you have problems. If you have customers like this, well, they don't call you that often. They don't have problems because they're not growing. By the way, you will see at the conclusion of my presentation, this is not a Greenlake customer. This is a Greenlake customer. Customers who are growing, at least you will see on one of the slides, I will share them anyway, at least 10% growth. Okay, if you don't have a customer that has at least 10% growth, he will not have all those benefits from a Greenlake solution. Why is that? You will see in a minute. Okay, but this is already what we see today in the market. Okay, so this is traditional. So this blue line here, this is transactional, traditional IT today. And so it's here where we have a problem, and it's here where we have a problem. But by the way, honestly, I think as well that also this is a problem. Yeah, that colored stuff over there, this is a problem as well. Because why is that a problem? Because this is over provisioning. You're paying for something that you don't use. And here as well, we have resources, but you're not using them. That's what we call over provisioning. And this is something that we're gonna avoid as well with Greenlake, with the pay-per-use, with the cloud experience. Okay, that's the whole idea. How do we gonna do that? Well, before we how? Well, that's easy. We're almost there in this picture. But before I'm gonna explain this, there's one more thing that you need to know. Back again. Today is day 1. Yeah. Day 1, your customer calls you and he says, this is what I need. Let it be a VM, let it be storage, let it be AI, let it be high performance computing. You have seen all those services, right? Well, but today, this is what we need. And this is, hold on, this is what we need today. And this is 100%, right? Of that service that he needs. Well, of course, today, remember, we're not going to start at 100%. No, today he only needs this. And then his workload will, I assume, go up like that. Now, there are 2 important numbers that we need to know. First of all is here, there's also the 80% one. And by the way, there's a third one here, which is 110%. These are the numbers that you need to know for Greenlake. Why? When we're gonna take a look in the pricing here, this is what we call the committed price. So this is what we're gonna pay in money, and this is a fixed price. So your customer is always paying for this. This is a monthly price, and he's always gonna pay for that. Yeah. That 20% is what we call the variable. Yeah. And by the way, it's this 20% that we can change. Remember, there was a question about that 20%, that variable. Yeah. This, you can make it bigger or smaller. Yeah. Of course, if you say, yeah, but we're going to start here, I'm going to make the variable larger. I'm going to set it to 30 or 40 or even 50%. Now you can do that, but of course, something that is fixed here, the price will be the most interesting. Yeah, because it's there. Yeah, that's the cheapest. Yeah, this here, the variable one, is we're gonna pay for the delta. So the deltas are the differences between the going up and down. So you're only gonna pay here for those peaks of that workload. So we're not gonna pay at the top here, it's only the delta. And this is the pay per use. Yeah, that pay per unit. Okay, and here the price is already a little bit higher than the fixed price, the committed price. So it's up to us to find the ideal mix between how many commit and how many variable. The only experience that I have is most of the time it's set to 80%. Yeah, this is the fixed price. This is the variable. Now, what's the 110%? By the way, technically it's called the buffer. HPE Greenlake will install 110%. So those simplicities or those nimbles with DL380 servers, HPE is installing anyway 110%. Yeah. Why is that? Just to avoid this green here. Okay. So anyway, HPE installed this. Well, HPE Greenlake will install anyway 110% by default. You're not going to pay for it, for that 10% buffer. It's in the solution. But why is that? So when that customer workload goes above the 100%, HPE still has the time to add more simplicity nodes, or to grow that nimble, or to add DL380 servers, or to add servers to run containers on there. And you're only going to pay the bottom, okay? Yeah, it had to be in red, but you're only going to pay the delta. And so the final price that the customer is going to pay in Greenlake, it's very simple. It's the fixed price plus the delta. And that's pay per month. So if that customer at one moment in time goes down back again, he's going to pay less. And by the way, his workload, he can go down up to that 80%. If he goes to 70%, well, he's going to pay 80%. But the delta is nothing, and then he can go up again. Yeah, and down and up and down and up and down again. But he's only paying the delta, the pay per use, plus that committed, of course, because that committed, that's the price that we're going to see. We're going to talk together to find the right size. Therefore, we're going to do an assessment. Lana, Marek, there are plenty of other tools. We're going to do an assessment together to define, Mr. Customer, what do you need? Okay, today, and then, of course, in 3, 4, 5 years. Now, the story is not really finished because at one moment in time, the company says, hey, I need 100 mailboxes, but we did an acquisition. We are working together. We're growing. We're expanding. So I need more. Well, as such, there's no problem, because you will see in a minute in the slides as well, is that at one moment in time, the customer says here, at this moment, I don't need 100 mailboxes or 100 VMs. I need 150 VMs for some kind of reason. Well, no problem. We can always make within that contract, we can change that 80% and we can make it bigger. So this is a change in Greenlake. Yeah. And then of course that 100% goes up and that 110% goes up as well, because technically, remember, HPE Greenlake will install 110% in that on-premises cloud environment. Of course, the fix will go higher. Also, the delta will stay the same. Only that delta will grow. It's only the fixed price that will grow, because that customer got more servers, more storage, more simplicity, more Nutanix, more whatever. So that's a change. Why do I mention that? You will see in a minute in the slides. Because you now, as an HPE partner, what you gonna sell? Well, technically, you're gonna sell together with us. We're gonna define day one. Yeah. And so this is where you, HPE partner, where you're gonna make money. It's on every change that you're gonna make money. All the rest in between, all the management is done by HPE, so you don't have to care about it. Just like with Office 365. Just your customer that calls you, I need 50 more mailboxes. There you go, 50 more mailboxes. Here with GreenLake, it's exactly the same. So installing the servers, growing the servers, expanding the storage, all these kind of things, everything is done by GreenLake. It's defined as a service. You'll see that in the slide deck in a minute. But so this is an important one to understand. Okay. And so finally, to finish the whiteboarding, so I just told you already. So a customer where we set that start point, a customer that is going like that, forget it, no GreenLake. This is a customer. This is a GreenLake customer that is growing. And now the only thing that you need to understand, if the amplitude is small, yeah, then we can set that variable very small. If you have a customer, however, that I'm exaggerating, that has a big amplitude of requirements of resources, well, it's at that moment that the variable will be higher and the fix will be lower. Okay, and with the red small amplitude, the variable will be lower and the fix will be higher. And so these are the things. This is one of the questions. It's you that needs to understand what are the requirements of my customer. So believe me, just like with Simplicity now, if you want to go to GreenLake hyper-converged, I'm not allowed to call it GreenLake Simplicity. No, it's GreenLake Virtual Machines service, remember? But technically there's a simplicity behind it. So together we're going to define which customer is it. Yeah. Which workload do you have? And then we're going to define together. Okay, you saw the numbers, by the way. Okay, in my workload summary, remember on hpe.com/greenlake, you saw this. And by the way, you don't have to go there. Yeah, there is a GreenLake quick quoting tool. I like the name, quick quote tool. If you go to the partner portal, and this is what I'm going to explain. So I'm going to switch quickly to my web browser again. So if you go to the partner portal, there is under product services and solutions, there is GreenLake, and you will find GreenLake for partners. Don't worry, we're going to help you with this. So all the technical stuff, me and the HPE team, for all the non-technical stuff, Danny and Peter, the account managers, we're going to help you with this. But so there is that quick quote tool. If you have any questions, if you want to get started, if you want a simulation, there you go. We have access to that quick quote tool. And so now I am connecting live to the quick quote tool for GreenLake here in Belgium. And so now you will see here that today the workloads in Belgium are virtual machines, our storage, and our compute. Yeah, and so now if I click on storage, there you go. We have back again. Is it secondary storage, data protection? Is it general purpose? It's a nimble. Is it business critical? It's also a nimble, but it's an all flash. If it's mission critical, it is Primera. And so now I go to general purpose. By the way, it's exactly the same thing. We're not going to ask you about, do you want a 20 or a 40 or a 60 or an 80 with how many disks and how many network cards and so on? Forget it. Okay. So, okay, I'm just going to call you partner, whatever, something, your company name. Yeah. What's the starting capacity? The minimum is 31. And now you will see the plans as well, because I selected the small one. Apparently it's a Nimble HF40 with a price per gigabyte and the reserved resources monthly price. And so now I hope that you understand what are these prices. Okay, and then you can select plan and so on. And there you go. There's the variable usage. So I hope now that you understand all these numbers, the terms, the partner uplift. Of course, you can select the uplift of how many money that you want to make with it. There's back again the DMR. Since it's a nimble now, there are no VMware licenses in here. And then I can click add workload and I can grow my GreenLake solution. Okay, generate quote, and automatically you will be contacted by us, because this is in combination with us that you're gonna deliver these services. Okay, good. By the way, at the end of the session, like all my sessions here, I provide plenty of time for Q&A. There's my phone number, my email address from the HPE team at the end of the presentation. So, hey, you know where to find me, of course. We're going to help you. But I want you to understand, what is GreenLake? Okay, and how does it look like? Because now, by the way, what I explained in my whiteboarding, you're going to see all this in the presentation. Okay, so let's take a look. Who are the customers for GreenLake? Well, I think that it's obvious now. They're going to change their infrastructure. They're going to take a look at their funding model. It's holding them back. The investments are too high. They want that pay-per-use, a fixed price and a variable price per month, just like with the public cloud. Okay, they want more accurate forecasting. I'm going to tell you, how does it work, that forecasting? Yeah, it's very simple. HPE is install very simple. You're going to ask me that question. Question comes all the time. How does HPE know? I'm going to go back to my whiteboard. How does HPE know at this moment in time how much that you are consuming? If it's a big amplitude or a small amplitude, right? Well, in the solution, we have servers, we have storage, we have networking, of course, we have licenses, we have software, but there's also metering software. So in that solution on premises, there is a management server and there is metering software. And that metering software is effectively taking a look at CPU, memory, storage, networking, users, plenty of stuff that they are measuring, and they're sending all the data to HPE. And you can see that, by the way, in a tool called GreenLake Central. So it's a public portal. I'll show you the picture in a minute because it is in my presentation. But so they're gonna measure this. They know perfectly how much that you are consuming. If it's a small VM or a big VM or a huge VM, and so on. And so that software tool has the intelligence, has AI in there to give you that forecasting. So they will know as well before you know. Yeah, so when I go back to my whiteboarding back again, so to avoid this problem, hold on here, to avoid this problem here, we have that 110% buffer, but HPE knows how it goes up. And they will call you before already to tell you, hey, maybe we need more. So the forecasting by default is in there anyway. Okay. So, like I said, anticipate at least 10% growth, otherwise year over year. Otherwise, believe me, GreenLake will not be that interesting on that price. Okay. On-premises capacity, like I told you, for the security, for the compliancy. You know what, I'm gonna put myself, there you go, so that you can read everything. So the compliancy, security, the full control on the latency, on the performance, on the security. Well, at that moment, it's an on-premises solution. Let that be clear. Okay. Of course, who are customers who are better for traditional IT? The customers who are looking at the price per unit. They still need to know the price of that DL380 or that DIMM in there or that hard disk in there. Yeah, they're looking at gear. They're not looking at solutions. It's those customers who are asking the price of an Exchange license in Office 365. No, it doesn't work like that. Yeah, limited or no growth. Now, about the hardware assets below 300K, don't worry about that. This is America. I have a slide about that. For Belgium, there is a GreenLake Swift program. It starts at 50K. Yeah, and we even have a few deals below 50K as well. But anyway, it starts around 50K and above. At that moment, yep, we can take a look at GreenLake. It's interesting. You'll see it's the so-called Swift program. I have it in my presentation. As well, customers who are not interested in support services. They just say, but give me the gear, and if there's a problem, if there's a fire, I'll call the fire station, and then we'll solve the problem when the problem is there. Okay? Because in GreenLake, all the services are in there. Okay? From the installation, the configuration, the maintenance, the updates, everything, all the support is in there. Customers who are asking foundation care, is it worth the money, foundation care? Really? Well, this is not a GreenLake customer because, by the way, in GreenLake, there is data center care. Everything is in there, more than proactive care. Okay? So there is all the services are in that price, just like with Office 365. You don't have to say, yeah, Office 365, you know what, I'll do the installation, I'll do the Exchange service packs. I'll do the patch management of Exchange. No, it doesn't work like that. Microsoft is doing it for you. Yeah. Also with Spotify. Yeah. It's a little bit the same like, hey, I'm buying a car, but my previous car, the steering wheel is still okay. Can I move my steering wheel in that new car? No, it doesn't work like that. You get that car, it's everything or nothing, right? You can tweak it when you buy the car, but afterwards, no, it doesn't work like that. Yeah, here it's exactly the same. So let that be clear. Okay, that's why I put a slide in there. The most important is 10% growth. They have to understand what is a service, not people that are talking about part numbers and so on. And also configs of 10K, believe me, a traditional solution will be cheaper, more efficient, more cost effective in that way. So there you go. We have those workloads. This is just an overview because I told you it's changing all the time. Every month there are new services that are being added. I've shown you on hpe.com/greenlake. This is worldwide. In Belgium, we have storage, we have compute, we have VMs. Data protection will be coming. VDI will be coming soon. Database will be coming. It's a matter of time. Now, most important for you is, and this is why I did the whiteboarding, it's metered per gigabyte, per core. Most of the time it's per compute unit, memory, terabytes backup, the amount of VMs, the amount of container units, and so on. Okay, this is where the customer is gonna pay, okay, with a fixed price and then that variable price in there. Okay, and I've shown you as well, if we take a look, this is the most practical one that I could find, is when we're going to take about compute and storage. You have seen, depending of the workload, we have the general compute, we have storage optimized, we have business critical, we have balanced most of the time as well. And it's only in there, so it's HPE that decides in general compute which servers are in there. Okay. Also storage optimized. Why in compute it's called storage optimized? Because in the DL380 and DL385, yeah, it's a 2U server. We can put more hard disks in there. If it's more about compute than storage, well, then we're going to go for those 1U servers in there. You can choose this? No. The only thing that you can choose is general compute, storage optimized, general purpose, balanced, business critical. And that's it. Okay, and it's HPE that will define which gear is behind it. Okay, it doesn't have to be too big because every server that they will add, that's for those big amplitudes. So it has to be small enough to cover all those small amplitudes as well. And then, hey, I gave you an example, right? So together, we're going to make those prices together with you. So we go to the quick quote tool on the partner portal, and then you get these kind of numbers. So I gave, this is an example of a Nimble HF40, price per gigabyte. So that's the units in 4 years with a 20% variable. And also for DL360, you get a certain price. And now, of course, you're going to say, hey, Bart, but this is price per month, right? But hold on, you don't know the sizing behind it. There are multiple servers because the minimum amount of servers is 4. Okay, you can run a lot of workloads on there. Now, in this case, it's 3 servers for 4 years with 20% variable. And remember, the servers, it's not only the hardware, it's the software, it's the installation, it's the maintenance, it's the metering, it's everything included. Yeah. The only thing that the customer or you need to do is install the application on there, and that's it. Okay, this is really cloud experience on premises, but it's HPE that is doing the dirty job. Yeah, you don't have to go with the boxes in there and so on. HPE will do this for you. So that's the whole idea. These are the benefits. So we have faster time to value. Okay, really quickly the hardware, because it's general purpose hardware. Yeah, it's a DL360, it's a Nimble, it's a Primera. So with that general hardware, we can really put it really quickly in your server room. It will be there in a matter of just a few weeks. It can scale up. And by the way, we have that 110% buffer. So we can stay ahead of the business needs. It's simplified. It's one portal, GreenLake Central. You can follow all the costs, all the invoices, all the workloads, all the needs in there. It's cloud-like economics, but you have proper control because the gear is in your data center, right? This is the official picture from HP that I did in the whiteboarding, but you will recognize it. Okay, so there you go. So we have the black line is what your customer needs at one moment in time. He has an issue because then he calls you to grow the white line again, which is my traditional purchase. And so now you will see that with a GreenLake, we can switch much faster. Okay, and by the way, it's HP that is doing it, so we have that flexible buffer at the top, so we never have those performance conflicts. And so at the bottom, the minimum committed level, we can scale it much faster as well. Okay, and so the green one, this is the where you're gonna save with GreenLake, because this is all over provisioning. So this is now resources that is in that data center and you're not using them. So you're wasting money. So you're going to save there. And also here, in this little cubicle here, you're only going to pay what you consume. But with that 10% buffer, you will never have a performance problem anyway. And you're only going to pay for what you're using at that moment in time. So you're winning twice money finally. Yeah, it's a double efficiency exercise. Okay. These are the consumption benefits because we're going to deploy that capacity only when you need it. This is the explanation from the whiteboarding that I did. So HPE installs 110% of the capacity that you need. By the way, capacity, it's not only gigabytes, it's also CPU, it's also memory, it's really the everything, right? So the requested capacity is 100% with the buffer, but within that requested capacity, so I'm going to move a little bit around so that you can see it. So we have the committed, the usage run rate, and we have that variable with all the explanations in there as well. So what's in it for you? Why do we going to sell GreenLake? Well, like I told you, because it's easy, or it's easier. It's better for the customer, for you as well. Because by the way, think about the competition. Now you're selling a solution in 3, 4, 5 years. Customer needs new gear. He will call you, but also a competitor. Yeah. Now with GreenLake, because by the way, GreenLake is not new. It exists already for 8 years. Before it was called Flex Capacity. It started more than 8 years ago in a hospital in Holland where they installed a TripR with metering software, and that hospital is still paying as a service. Now, in 5 years, that customer will be oh so happy that they will call you to say, I want to stay in GreenLake. Sorry. So you have that retention rate that is really high. Yeah, the customer is not going to call someone else because they're going to stay within your GreenLake cloud as well. Those deals are growing anyway. Don't worry. In 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, they're going to call you anyway to grow that environment. They're not going to call another cloud vendor. No, they're going to call you, cloud provider, to grow that cloud. Yeah. And they pay per month. Yeah. So growth for you all the time. The only thing that you need to do is find the deal, and then every month follow the graphs and see, hey, you need more. Yeah, there you go. Here's the invoice. Yeah, so there's no competitive bidding there. When they want, hey, they start with one workload. Believe me, once that they have a second workload, they're gonna call you as well. They want a third workload. Hey, we have 17 workloads already today. They're gonna call you. Hey, I want to start with containers. Yeah, no problem. We can run containers on your environment. This is how it works. Yeah, that's the whole idea. And this is what you need to do. GreenLake is there for partners, built for partners, for you. Why? What you need to do, the only thing that you need to do is the ownership of the deal. Yeah, find a customer that is ideal for GreenLake, close the deal. Every month you will get your rebate. Every month you will get your percentage of that deal. Also, the rebates are much more interesting than just selling hardware. Okay? Yeah. Up to 17%. It depends. Sometimes it's 10, sometimes 15, sometimes 17. It depends of what you're selling. Okay? And also for the growth, it's the more they're using, the more they're going up, the more amplitude they have, the more that you are making money. The only thing that you have to do is get ownership of that customer. Call them every month. Hey, how is it going? That's it. Yeah, because technically all the dirty work is being done by HPE services, right? That's a nice thing. So there you go. There's the initial deployment of the solution. HP is putting anyway 110% in there. Then the ongoing, you just have to follow up every month. By the way, this was a question in QuickQuote tool. How often do you buy that customer, of course? Every month, every 3 months, every 6 months, every year. That was a question in the QuickQuote tool. Well, there you go. Every month, every quarter, every 6 months, we're going to take a look together. Are we still with that 110%? Are we still okay? Or do we need to grow it? This is something that we do together with you, with the customer. Yeah, it's GreenLake Central. Yeah. And then, of course, we're going to follow up with that change order. Okay. So there you go. Almost there. GreenLake components. Like I said, why do I put it in here? It's more than hardware. If you take a look at the price, you're comparing apples with bananas, something else, because it's more than hardware. It's software, it's services, it's installation services, it's support services. The billing metrics are in there, and everything is put together in that tool called GreenLake Central. So it's a web portal. Yeah, greenlake.hp.com. You log in there, you see all your workloads of all your customers. Yeah, and there are plenty of graphs in there. Yeah, with the pricing for IT operations. When do I need more capacity? For the developers, I need something quickly. Can I do it? Is my business at risk? For legal, the CFO, with how much am I spending? Hey, we can show it to you. How much are you spending? On which resources? All the reports are in there. So it's a company called Cloud Cruiser that they acquired many years ago, and that is integrated in this portal as well. Okay. And I told you about the deal qualification size. Well, there you go. Like I said, in the US, the big deals, the real GreenLake is above 300K with a year-over-year growth of 10%, preferably or more. But now for Europe and for Belgium, there's the GreenLake Swift program. And these are pre-configured bundles. Okay. So like I said, it's not you choosing a DL360 with this and that, all those components in there. So HPE, we have pre-configured bundles with DL servers, with Nimble storage. And so the pricing is directly available in QuickQuote. Yeah, so we can share this together with you. And so the GreenLake experience, it can be on premises or it can be with a remote delivery. Okay, so the installation can be done on premises. Of course, it costs money, or also the installation can be done by HPE services remotely as well. Okay, but up to or starting from 50K. Deals from smaller than 50K, we can try to do the exercise, but I cannot guarantee that it will be more interesting. This is together us who will define this. Back again, what's included in that unit pricing, just to give you an idea, watch out, this is really depending, of which service that you're consuming. But like I said, in hardware and software, there's Simplicity, Storage, DL, Synergy, Apollo, Store Ones, depending of the type of storage that you have. We have the installation, the startup services. We have the break and fix. We have hardware support 24/7. You can go even much further than that as an option. You have seen those parameters. It's just a checkbox that you can put on or off. Capacity management is in there. Release management is in there. So you get all those advisories about firmware updates that needs to be done and so on. You get all those reports, and it's covered by HPE. So it's much more than just a bill of material of hardware. Okay. And then finally, the last one that I want to show, and then we're going to dive into the questions, is about GreenLake Quick Quote Tool. I've shown you in the web browser, you go to the partner portal. By the way, you have to request access. Okay. It's a procedure. It takes just a few days. There's the local HPE GreenLake guy at HPE that will give the confirmation to give access to the tool. And then you can find it in the partner portal. And so it will look like this. Now, I've just shown you in Belgium today, we have compute, we have storage, and we have virtualization. There are more services coming really soon. When you get in there, you request access. Yeah, you fill in the type, you are a partner. I assume that you're all HPE partners. Then you select the workload. You're going to size the workload. So the questions are different depending of which workload that you defined, of course. If it's hyper-converged, it will ask you about VMs. If you selected storage, it will ask you about capacity, of course, right? The number of VMs, memory, CPU, storage required, and then you select view plans. And then depending of what you selected there you go. We have cost optimized in Synergy because this is now for 100 VMs. Yeah, this is 100 VMs with 16 gig of RAM. So you can run it on Synergy, but you can run it as well on Simplicity, cost optimized, balanced, or performance optimized. And then you get your price with your fixed price and the price per the variable price as well. And then you can select a plan. You select a plan. There are some add-ons like VMware licenses because this is hyper-converged. You can add the licenses in there. You can select DMR, some other services in there as well. With the uplift, 8%. That's, I want that customer. The variable usage is set to 30%, just to give you an idea here, because that variable has an impact of the price, of course, because that I've shown you in the whiteboarding. And then you will see at the end, you choose the output because at the end in the Quick Quote tool, this is not an option in the online tool. This is just to give you an idea. But in the Quick Quote tool, at the end, you will get a Word file, a PDF, a PowerPoint, and a statement of work as well with all the details in there, who is doing what, with the full details about the solution. Okay. And then finally, there are some other values. What I told you, how often do you buy quarterly? Well, that means that every 3 months, we're going to take a look together. You can set it to monthly. You can set it to 6 or 12 months as well. But how many times per year we're going to take a look together for that change order to grow it? What's the monetized business impact of the workload, small, medium, large? If there's a performance impact, what's the impact of the business? If it's major, then maybe we have to provide a little bit higher ratio, that 110%, so that we can fill up that gap. Finally, there has to be an OPE number, an opportunity number that you have created so that we know which customer that we're talking about. When you fill in this information, you click the big green button at the bottom, and then you will get your Word file, your PowerPoint file, your Excel file, everything in there. So there's a document, a presentation, and then the channel working file to talk with HPE and with us, of course. Okay, well, there you go. GreenLake delivers the cloud experience for all your workloads. Anywhere, but let it be clear, it's running on premises. And like I told you, with flex capacity, GreenLake, we have a lot of experience already. So don't think that GreenLake is new. The name maybe is new, but HPE is already with that hospital in Holland, with that TripR, with flex capacity. We have a lot of experience. By the way, there are already a lot of GreenLake, a lot of GreenLake contracts under main under contract at HPE already, and it's going up every year. Yeah, it's one of the the strong growers inside HPE. We have a presence over more than 50 countries. So if you have customers as well in Holland or in France or maybe in the US or far away, well, also there we or HPE can deliver GreenLake for that customer in all those countries as well. We have the partners. It is really built for partners. Okay. Most vendors are supported with that ecosystem. That's the last slide coming in a minute. All the services are in there, the global expertise with all those acquisitions of third-party companies recently as well to run containers on their SAP HANA in the cloud. It's running on HPE GreenLake. I don't know if you know, but SAP HANA at the end of last year, they announced SAP HANA in the cloud. FYI is running on HPE GreenLake. Yeah. So there you go. It's booming. Okay. There you go. Talking about the ecosystem, HPE is not alone. Look at that. All these services can be used within GreenLake. So don't think that it's only HPE. Nope. You want Veeam, you want VMware, you want Nutanix, you want Cumulo, you want Commvault for data protection, you want whatever. We have those partnerships. You can run all these software solutions, all those integrations. Yeah, you can run it inside GreenLake. Okay, good. There you go. We arrived at the end of the presentation perfectly on time. Here's our phone number, our email address. You know where to find us. Yes, from Michael and from Patricia. I'm still waiting for their pictures. They're coming soon. But anyway, you can contact them, Danny and Peter, for all the non-technical stuff. By the way, there you go. So there's Steven as well, Christophe and Wim, who will be helping you with the bill of material, because technically, by the way, we need to talk technical anyway to define that workload. Yeah, remember that amplitude and so on. We're gonna help you to get started with GreenLake with your customers, or maybe stay in traditional IT, because like I said, traditional IT is not going away. Okay, it's just a next thing. You can choose. You want cloud experience or you want to go the traditional way. By the way, HPE has perfect solutions in both areas. Okay, so I told you, hey, there are the dates of the upcoming other sessions as well. You can register just like for this session. You can register at techdataevents.be. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. You know where to find me, and maybe see you in one of the upcoming events. Of course, like I said, I stay here online for all the questions in the Q&A. Thank you. Bye-bye.